Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's having a fantastic week. We're getting into that time of year now. We're towards the end of summer, starting to get the itch to get out in the deer woods, maybe do a little preseason scouting, maybe go through some gear. And going through my gear is exactly what I was doing the other day. Kind of getting rid of some stuff I haven't used in a while, maybe seeing what needs to be upgraded. And I ended up replacing something that I would consider probably is one of my most important pieces of hunting gear that I own. So if you're familiar with me at all, you know that I like to use a belt pack when I'm out deer hunting. So for those of you who may not know what a belt pack is, it's also known as a fanny pack. Some call it a belly pack. Over in the UK, they call it a bum pack. I'm not calling it a bum pack. It's something I've used for years. In fact, my father bought one for us many years ago. It actually was a brilliant move. The problem is back then, there weren't any belt packs available with the Northeast deer tracker in mind. For me, what I would be looking for in a pack tracking deer is something that's quiet, water resistant, holds the odor down, that's well balanced so I can walk all day and really not know that it's there. And a few years back, Big Woods Box came out with a belt pack that had the deer tracker specifically in mind. So I bought one. And I've used it for several years, been really happy with it, but they stopped making them until recently. So when I found out they had a smaller one available, I had to buy one. So today, what I'm gonna do is compare the Big Woods Box original belt pack to the new and improved, yet smaller belt pack. And we'll see how the new one stands up to the old one. So let's get to it. So first, let's talk about the shell, which is wool. That's what makes this belt pack so good for a deer tracker in the Northeast. Wool is an important garment for me. It's basically nature's performance athletic wear. So the original belt pack was a 85% wool, 15% nylon blend. It serves a purpose well, wicks moisture, water resistant, holds the odor down, and most importantly, it's quiet. So the new pack that I got from Big Woods Box, it's their smaller one. It's what they refer to as the Nuna. The wool on this definitely seems different than the original pack. Ironically enough, there's no tag that tells me if it's a wool blend or if it's 100% wool, nor do they say so on their website. I gotta suspect because it doesn't say it, I'm gonna say it's a wool blend. It feels like an 85% wool, 15% nylon blend. I've got a light wool jacket that I use bird hunting that feels very similar to this. I wonder if they source their wool from the same place. But it seems a little tighter weave on it, and I suspect that's because it's a pre-shrunk wool. It is a 22-ounce wool. It does say it's made in USA, so that's a positive. It seems like a decent wool shell. So as far as compared to the old one, I'd say it's a draw. They're equal. So next, let's talk about the belt strap. That was one of the discernible flaws that I felt was in the original pack, is the nylon strap is thin, lacks some structure, and you know, it would keep it attached to you, but again, it would loosen throughout the course of the day. It probably was a contributing factor to the bag sagging off your backside a little bit. They've changed the straps on the new one. So the new pack has an integrated nylon strap. So you get a piece of wool that's actually gonna sit on the hips that basically integrates into the pack itself. I suspect it's gonna make it a little more comfortable and probably keep it in place a little bit better. They've also added a thicker nylon belt. This is a 2-inch belt, so a little more stout. Hopefully it'll stay tighter throughout the day with minimal adjustment. So I'm pretty pleased that they made some upgrades to the belt on this pack. So as far as the straps go, definitely the new packs have a much better strap, so it's a win for the new pack. So as far as the interior on these packs, they've pretty much maintained the same standard. There is a red nylon material that's water resistant on the inside. I'm glad they stayed with that. I like the fact that there's additional protection to your gear inside. And it really made it easy to clean out and to grab stuff out of the pack. Surprisingly, if you're just reaching into the pack blind, you can really feel your stuff pretty well inside with that nylon shell on the inside. You can differentiate, what's the pack versus what's inside of it. And then if you get debris and stuff like that, it empties out really well. Glad they stuck with that. The new pack has the same exact material on the inside. So as far as the interior goes, it's a draw. So the pockets on these are pretty minimal. The original pack that I had has basically 2 main pockets, one on the front, one on top. And then you have the additional GPS holder on top, which I no longer use. I like having minimal pockets, especially having no pockets that are open to the environment. If you look at what's out there for current belt packs for deer hunters, they're not good for a deer tracker or someone who's really trudging through thick woods. They have water bottle holders on them, all these straps and pulleys and everything else that can get caught up in the bushes. Even my jackets and stuff like that, I don't like having pockets that are open to the environment because they will inevitably fill up with sticks, pine needles, spruce needles. It's really annoying. You get back at the end of the day and you can be pulling out all kinds of garbage out of your pockets. That was one of the positives with this pack from the get-go. But you'll see even right here, I was going through this pack today, and I mean, there's pine needles and junk hidden under any little crevice or anything that stuff can get into. It's gonna find a way in there and be stuck there. The old pack did have a couple D-rings, which I would use to attach my GPS strap to, just in case this top pocket came open and my GPS came out, I wouldn't lose it. Now the new pack has the same similar pocket configuration. Again, simple pockets, no GPS holder on top. So there's very minimal things to get hung up on it, very minimal spots for collection of debris. So it's sleek, it's gonna be quiet going through the woods. It's exactly what I was looking for in the original pack, and they've maintained that in the new pack, so happy about that. So I'd say a slight advantage on the new small pack as to not having a GPS pocket on top. That's probably a personal preference. Some people may still like the GPS pocket on top. I don't need it anymore, so let's get rid of that. They did that, and I'm pretty pleased about that. So, and lastly, when talking about these, let's talk about the size. So Big Woods bucks in their new packs now offer two sizes. They offer a large one, which is 450 cubic inches, and they offer the smaller Nuna. I'm not sure what the name Nuna means. I gotta suspect it's referencing a smaller size. Ironically, on the website, they do not give a description specifically to the small belt pack. So they don't give you the actual size, it's just smaller. So smaller than 450 cubic inches. No idea the exact size of it. The old one, I suspect, is very similar to the large pack that's currently available. They made a few changes to their large pack, so probably to address the sagging issue of these larger packs. They've added a shoulder strap system to them. I don't like anything on my shoulders. And plus, I've always felt this pack was a little bit too big for me. I don't carry a lot of gear. I guess if you're someone who's gonna carry trail cams and bigger stuff like that, then maybe the bigger pack would be the way to go. But I go pretty light, and I wanna have something that I can tuck in underneath my jacket. I really could never tuck this big one underneath my jacket very well, so I had to put it on the outside so it was exposed to the elements a little bit more. So my whole reason for buying a new pack was the fact that they offered a smaller one. So as far as size goes, I'm gonna say win to the new pack. It's gonna fit my needs much, much better than the large pack. So you might be asking, so what's the price? Well, the original pack, I don't recall what the price of the original pack was. I believe it was under $100. I want to say it was in the $70 range and around there. So the Nuna, the small belt pack, is $100. The larger one is $130. And you know, I think that's reasonably priced. I think considering the price of things nowadays and the state of you know what it costs to get materials and stuff like that, I think it's reasonably priced. I think it's doable. I guess which one's the winner? Get a drum roll, please. Definitely the new one, smaller one for me. Not perfect, but again, you can't appease 100% of the people 100% of the time. There's got to be some give and take between the consumer and the producer. Consumer needs to be getting, you know, what they feel is a reasonably priced product and getting a fair value out of that product. And the producer has to be able to make somewhat of a profit. So there's got to be a little give and take. So some of the things I think could be improved on this pack is I feel the pockets could be made a little longer. They seem a little narrow. When I first got this pack and I was, you know, putting some stuff inside of it, I felt like the opening wasn't as big as it could be. And there definitely seems to be some extra room for more zipper to have a little wider opening going into the pack. You know, not a deal breaker by any means. The other thing, and this is just more of an individualized personal preference, if I were to customize this pack specifically for me, this pack is small enough that I feel I could probably put a couple belt loops on the back of this and attach it. I carry a cartridge belt and where I keep my knives and spare cartridges on. You know, it stays well balanced around me. The weight's really evenly distributed around my waist. And I think, you know, with a couple belt loops, I could attach that to my cartridge belt and have basically an all-in-one system that has my cartridges, my knife, and then this attached straight to the gun belt. And that would eliminate this belt altogether. So there you have it. That's my take on the new Big Woods Bucks belt pack. Wanted to compare it to the original. I like the fact that they offered 2 different sizes and they offered the smaller belt pack. I think this one's really going to serve me well. You know, if you're a deer tracker and you hunt in the Northeast and you're considering a belt pack or you've never used a belt pack, I would highly consider these ones. While not perfect, you know, they're going to be quiet, they're going to be odor resistant, water resistant, well balanced, no exposed pockets to collect a bunch of debris, no water bottle holder, no bells and whistles that you really don't need when you're out tracking. I know a lot of guys will use a backpack. It's in the way. I don't like it, and I don't like the feeling of shoulder straps on my shoulders, especially when I'm shouldering a rifle. It just interferes with the natural feel of me shooting a rifle. So anytime I come across a product that has the Northeast deer tracker in mind, I'm really happy about it. You know, there's more and more companies that I'm starting to see pop up that have the deer tracker in mind. It's becoming a thing. So I really appreciate companies producing this stuff, and I hope it continues. I hope it continues to grow, and I hope it continues to expand, because it is such a niche activity. You know, it's very hyper-focused, and it can be very hard to make a profit in such a niche down market. So I'm thankful that there's companies producing this stuff, and I hope it continues to grow. So if you made it this far, I appreciate you watching. I hope it helps answer any questions that someone may have between the different packs that are out there. Maybe answer some questions on why I carry a belt pack, why I love a belt pack so much, and why I like a wool belt pack. I think this is a good way to go, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. I appreciate you watching, and until next time, get outside. It's good for the soul. See ya.